Hello everyone, this is Kazam from Kazam3D.com. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be continuing our discussion of lighting. And for that we're going to be using what is going to be coming out as an update to the C3D Concert Stage. I have added some ghost light settings and controls for that set. Okay. And if I switch this, well, it already is, you can see that the lights are on Julie. I wanted to bring them down low because I didn't want to use additional lighting. And so I didn't want any shadow on her face, which would be there if I had her hair visible. By the way, that hair that I'm using on her for this is the D-Force Romantic Curly Hair. It's an exceptionally good product. I really do like it, but like all D-Force hair that's out there on the market now that I have discovered so far, I find it needlessly complicated. And it really is, it's a little bit of a bear to deal with when you have it visible in any view mode. It slows down the reaction of the, and this is all because the hair is just so well textured. I just want you to understand that this is just a natural drawback of how good that product is in terms of how good it looks and how good it reacts. It's just that you have to be prepared to put some extra time into your render. And so I have just taken to hiding it after I run a D-Force simulation on it. Let me show it real quickly here. So you can see that. We'll give it a chance to catch up. And you can see that it starts slowing things down. I mean, it just does. And even over here in texture mode, you can see how I'm now getting stop start over here. I'm not changing any lighting by doing this. I'm not changing the position of the character or anything else. It's just that it gives the viewport a lot to digest. And I would like to try to come up with something better than that on my own because it simply isn't out there. Hair is something I've never stepped into because, well, frankly, I found that it just wasn't clicking with me. And the end results in most hair wasn't really good enough anyway. I always thought D-Force hair was the way to go. But looking at all of these D-Force hairs out here, how complex they are, I just finally decided I'm going to have to toss my hat into the ring. It'll probably get stepped on by an elephant right away. I'm not that good when it comes to hair, and I'm not really sure. This is really just, it's a project of necessity, not expansion. This is not an imperial expansion of Rome into other people's purview. It's just that I'm not finding a product that I find that is good enough and easy enough to use that I want to keep it on my characters. Okay, so I'm going to be taking a step into that just to see if I can get it done. At any rate, let's continue our lighting now that I'm off of that. Let's go ahead and hide her hair again. And this is just another thing about it. When you hide it, you can't just hide this. You have to hide these layers as well. I'm not really sure what they're doing in there, why they're necessary. I'm sure there is a good reason for it, but I don't know what that reason is. And so we'll just have to look at how much more responsive we are now. See that? And again, I was not changing any lighting or the position of the character or anything that should affect that. It's just the viewport has a lot to digest. At any rate, we've selected all stage lights, okay? And I am going to turn all of these lights off. Okay, so now Julie goes away, of course. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, if you look over here, I'm going to select light number 2, hold down control and say select light 1. And let's see, what else do we want to select? Maybe something up along in here. Anything showing itself to me? No, that's okay. Let's just turn these two on. I haven't really fully, completely 100% tested this. So we're all kind of getting our look at this at the same time. Let me go to Ghost Intensity Medium on those two. Lights off. Let me turn lights on. We'll turn these two lights on. Hello. Do I have the right thing selected here? Tilt, 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 tilt. Oh, there we go. That's why. Okay. I was using the wrong selection tool there. Sorry about that, guys. All right. At any rate, there we go. Now let's go ahead and let's try out this Ghost Light Medium. And yes, that works. What I should have been doing there is choosing the using the surface selection tool there for this, because I've made some changes to the way the lights work. But at any rate, you can see there now that we have a nice, it's kind of a dramatic head-on look to Julie right there. And if we wanted to give a little bit of backlight, let's take a look at, let's go over here. We'll select all of our stage lights just so we have something to aim at here. Let's grab this one and the one beside it. There we go. And then we will, let's do an intensity medium on those. No. All right. We'll turn them on. So as you can see, I'm still working out what the changes mean to all of that. And again, because of that change, I'm still forgetting I need to grab the emitters. And I'm going to fix that with, I'm going to do something to get around that, or, you know, because I hate to just put in the README, make sure you have the surface selection tool on. I don't want to have a different script for every single light. That's what I'm trying to avoid, because I just think that gets a little overwhelming. But anyway, we'll go ahead and turn those on. And so there you go. Now we've got a nice rim light effect here. Okay. So now we have some lights on in front of her, although you can't see them. We have some lights on behind her. I want to get rid of this one. Let's turn that off and make sure I've got the emitter here. Light off. There we go. Now we just have the one. And that makes it kind of a dramatic setup, don't you think? Now that being the case, let's try to balance things out a little bit. Let's go up here. Select all stage lights. Let's grab this one, I believe is one of them. And this one. Grab our emitters. Where was I? Medium on that? Let's make those intensity high. There we go. That's better. Now we get specularity in her eye. Okay. We have a real nice sheen on the fabric of the outfit here, which, by the way, this is one of the ones I just released. It's called, its working name is not the same as its real name. So anyway, Breezy Buns is what I called it here, but LaBreeze, that's it. This is the LaBreeze outfit. For Genesis 8, there has not been a simulation run on it yet. So as you can see, it's the kind of thing that you might not need to run a simulation at all. It really kind of depends on what you're looking for and what D-Force presets you select. Yeah, there we go. I'm actually moving the light around or the camera, and I shouldn't, because I have her eyes parented to or pointing at the camera. So I better just leave it right there for now. So anyway, there we go. That is just a quick demo of how you can use the C3D Concert Stage lights. Now, what I've demonstrated here in terms of just selecting individual lights, that's true of the way the lights are set up right now. So if you pick those up in our store before the update happens, you'll still be able to do this. You won't have the ghost settings yet, but when the product gets updated, it's just going to be an updated product. So if you own it, you should get a notification that there's an update available for download, and just be able to go and download it for no additional charge. For those of you who don't own it, there's no reason to wait to buy it just because of this, because this is coming out fairly soon and may already be out well before this video, or well before you see this video. Let's put it that way. Anyway, let's bring in, just for the heck of it, this is really kind of a render setup video as well as a product demonstration, isn't it? Let's go ahead and do that. Now, the reason I'm not going to run a D-Force simulation on LaBreeze for this video is I don't want reactive deforce to momentarily reveal some part of the character that gets us flagged on YouTube. Okay. So I'm just going to leave that part as is. Labreeze is something you can take a look at. There are some really good product images for the outfit if you're interested in seeing that. But a lot of my products, it's kind of difficult to get away with making a YouTube video demonstration of them because of community standards, I guess. You just don't want to run afoul of that. If you run afoul of that, then people miss out on actually getting information. And I'm trying to always impart information along with trying to sell some products. So here we go, render setup. I'm going to move back to golden ratio portrait, which I actually like a lot. Those of you who are familiar with my renders and product images can tell that. Make it about a 2K. Here's a little tip that I picked up from somebody else online. This is not my thing. It's somebody else did this or showed us this or showed this to the general public, but it's a way that you can get a really nice result on a render in a very short period of time in iRay. The tip that this person gave was to go to like 500 or 600 samples, make it about a 3K file, and you always want to go here direct to file, not new window. Name your file and go ahead and render it. And what that does is it just gives you a really big image that then when you size it back down, any noise or anything that might be in it, and there isn't much, just so you know, goes away. And it really does deliver a good, fast result. Now, because we've got the hair here, and because I've got some sheen on this stuff, I want to just make sure that there isn't any noise that I have to post-process. I want to be able to rely on the renderer. I don't want to have to pull it into Photoshop and do very much work there at all. So I just go ahead and give it 1,200 samples and just do it at 2K instead of 3K. And that gives me a nice sized image. It gives me a very clean image. And if it were not for this curly hair, it would be an image that would render in maybe 5 or 6 minutes, believe it or not. With this curly hair, it's going to take probably more like 20 or 25 minutes, but that's just the texturing inside the hair. That's the only reason this happens. So, why it takes 4 times as long. But for the most part, when you create a render, try taking your max samples to about 500, okay? You can leave this stuff, the rendering quality, or all of that default. Give yourself a nice big image. 3K is what this person used online. I don't use 3K for reasons I've already explained. Make sure that you are direct to file and then let it rock and roll, and I think you'll be really happy with the results. Okay, that's it for this video. Until next time, this is Kazam from Kazam3D.com saying happy rendering.